Any book of technical studies is going to have a whole section devoted to double notes, double thirds, so you'll find your own patterns that suit you. But coming to the Persichetti, number 7, again, chromatic, this happens to be chromatic thirds, but in symmetrical inversion. I'll play you a little bit of this study. What I like about this is that it's rhythmical, it's zingy, he's got dynamics, he's got some pedaling in there, so it hardly feels like a study. The other thing that's really good about it, about all of them, is they're super short. So he has a repeat, which effectively makes it twice as long to play, but half as long to learn. So it's economical from the time point of view. Very, very well worth looking at. Now, if you have been brought up on Hanon and that sort of ilk, and you like that, and you use those exercises in a coordinated way, you might be interested in some harmonic exercises for piano by somebody called Claire Fischer, F-I-S-C-H-E-R, and Claire is actually a guy, and he was a jazz pianist. Published by Advanced Music. What you've got here is a chromatic sequence of chords. So let me play you the sequence of chords. And so it goes. Got the idea? So you're supposed to be able to play, he's put etc. at the end of 2 lines, by which time you're supposed to have understood what the pattern is and then move through the keys. But here's how he suggests using that pattern of notes. Again, for double note practice.
Arau recommended 2 uses of the fingers. The first was vigorous high finger action. Arau's high finger action was not the so-called hammer touch recommended by some 19th century pedagogues, where the fingers were raised independently of the arm and held in a tightly curved shape. Arau's high finger motion is reinforced by arm weight and movement. The fingers are somewhat straightened, and most of the finger movement takes place in the knuckle joint, though the other joints move somewhat as well. So therefore we might say that rather than being curved, the fingers are curving as they depress the keys. The second use of the fingers recommended by Arau was very minimal finger motion. Arau sometimes instructed students not to move their fingers. He did not mean that the fingers should be completely immobile, but that they should remain in contact with the keys or very close to them. The keys are then pressed down by the weight of the arm, and the fingers support that weight with they should remain in minimal finger motion. Arau sometimes instructed students not to move their fingers. He did not mean that the fingers should be completely immobile. But that they should remain in contact with the keys or very close to them. The keys are then pressed down by the weight of the arm, and the fingers support that weight with very small pulling movements that catch the weight in the key beds. Arau taught two uses of the arm, dropping down and pushing up and away from the body. In dropping the arm, the fingers are poised just above the keys. Then the entire arm is lifted and released so that its weight drops into the keyboard, supported by the fingers. As the arm is lifted from the shoulder, the forearm and hand hang down loosely so that the fingers remain close to or touching the keys. As the arm lifts, the point of the elbow must turn outward in proportion to the height that is reached by the arm. So in this way, the arm can be lifted high while the fingers stay close to the keyboard. Proportion to the height that is reached by the arm. So in this way, the arm can be lifted high while the fingers stay close to the keyboard. The other use of the arm is pushing upward. This movement begins with the fingers already touching the keys. The keys are pressed down while pushing the arm forward and making the wrists go